Sundar. And Dr. Sundar comes to us from the India Institute of Technology, and he's been very active in this field with over 550 publications. And a mark of a successful career is recognizing that he has supervised 28 PhDs. That is a remarkable accomplishment. He's an author of 5 books and remarkably globally respected authoritative voice. So, Dr. Sundar, please, the floor is yours.
Good day to all. My topic for today's panel discussion is climate change adaptation, technological solution through case studies. Climate change impacts. Direct impacts are sea level rise, severe storms, variation in weather pattern. Under the indirect impacts, you have the inundation or flooding, shoreline changes, impact on infrastructure, water resources, and coastal community. The effect of sea level rise is brought out in this picture, where you see the inundation taking place. Not only that, the backwater can remove the material and leading to beach erosion. The flat beach and the steep beach will behave like this, and this behavior is going to be more severe in case of the sea level rise. On the nearshore currents, you have the rivers bringing in sediments, and also there is a current flowing along the coast, which is going to take care of the stability of the shoreline. And when you have a sea level rise, it's going to dictate the stability of the shoreline, as well as it's going to dictate the stability of the banks of the rivers. So hence, it has to be taken care of. Coming to adaptation measures, we have protect, accommodate, and retreat. So protect is given here, adaptation is shown here, and the last one is retreat, going away or moving away from the shoreline. The SLR, or the sea level rise, will shift the existing shoreline landward, and hence the adaptation measures are mandatory. So hard engineering measure to combat coastal erosion are the groins, detached offshore breakwaters, sea walls, reefs, and training walls to keep the river mouth open. Problems associated with SLR. This picture shows what happens to the stability of a monolithic structure. And in this case, rubble mount structure, you can have the penetration of sea level rise into this and leading to the instability of the coast structure. And depletion of natural rocks calls for artificial blocks. And one such block we have developed is the Kolos, that was implemented in Krishnapatnam port along the southeast coast of India. The groin field for coastal measures, we have covered something like 30 odd locations along the Kerala coast, which have been proved to be very, very successful, not only as a coastal protection measure, but also serving as a beach retention structure, so you get back the lost beach. These are the two. So this is the earliest kind of groin field, which was constructed north of Chennai, which has solved a 5-decade-old problem. The locations are listed here. And there is again a groin field with a T groin, which has served to be very effective. The artificial reefs, we looked at a kind of an innovative kind of a structure, wherein we had perforated the structure, as you can see here. And this is implemented in Van Island, tip of Indian Peninsula. And this has been promoting marine life, and it has been very successful in reducing the inundation towards the Van Island, and thereby helping in the growth of the beach. The soft engineering options, sand bypassing, are the beach nourishment, sand dune stabilization, vegetation, and geosynthetic products have been very, very common. And this I will try to cover some of these aspects. Artificial beach nourishment, we had tried early 2000 in Pondicherry, Puducherry, just it's not far away from Chennai. And dredging from this area, where you have the accumulation or the advancement of the shoreline through an underwater tunnel and discharged on the northern side, and this has resulted in a stable beach. But the sustainability becomes a big question mark. This slide shows the combination of geotube and Gavian that was adopted along the Andhra Pradesh coast in Upada, which has sustained for about 5 years. This slide shows the video clip of our experimental investigation on the effect of plantation on the flow reduction. So you see the transversal direction oscillation of the vegetation can also result in the attenuation of the flow field. I would like to summarize a few typical coastal adaptation measures was presented in brief. The climate change adaptation calls for exploring new age and modern coastal protection measures with innovative materials. The construction material and methodology should ensure environmental stability. It is important to consider the aesthetic aspect since most of the affected coastal stretches are popular tourist attractions.
Thank you, Dr. Sundar. In fact, indeed, very interesting presentation, and your the way forward for coastal adaptation and what kind of measures can be taken. I think some of them are very innovative, and in fact, I saw that your article on artificial beach management and all very interesting and kind of very insightful. So thank you so much for this very interesting talk.